Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Joining me now is Earl Phalen, CEO and President of KC Scholars. Earl, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Brittany. Thank you for having me today.
Before we dive into a really important conversation, can you just give us some background here? What is KC Scholars?
Sure, KC Scholars is a nonprofit organization based in Kansas City, and we're focused on helping young people make sure that money is no obstacle for them to get to college and through college. So we give $50,000 scholarships to 775 students every year, about $38 million worth of scholarships. And we support our scholars as they choose the right college, they choose the right major, and then they get to college and obviously a great job afterwards.
That's really incredible work. Without scholarships, college wouldn't have become a reality for me personally, so I appreciate your work. And student loan payments officially resume in October after an over 3-year pause. So how is this going to impact borrowers?
The debt crisis or the reinstatement of the debt payments is going to have a big impact on borrowers. Right now, throughout the United States, there's $1.75 trillion of student debt out there. So the average student is going to have to start to pay, or the average graduate is going to have to start to pay $200 to $300 a month. And when you think about that additional monthly cost, in addition to rising gas prices, higher housing costs, it's going to put a lot of stress on many Americans.
We've covered extensively top issues facing Americans, especially as we go through the next election, and the economy is always top of mind. And I want to read a stat from the Education Data Initiative, what they found. Quote, Black and African American college graduates owe an average of $25,000 more in student loan debt than white college graduates. How are borrowers of color disproportionately impacted as these payments are reinstated?
Well, they're disproportionately impacted because many Black students have to assume debt to go to college. So in some other households, middle income and upper income, parents are contributing to their tuition, or parents are paying the full tuition. But for Black students and for other low income students, Latinx and white low income students, they have to assume debt if they're going to get to and through college. And that's why you need great programs like KC Scholars, that most of our students are coming out debt free because they're getting $50,000 over the course of their education. And we're encouraging them to go to schools either in Kansas or Missouri.
Debt-free sounds really like the dream, but that's not a reality for a lot of students and a lot of borrowers, especially younger ones. So what's the solution here? What do you think can be done to close this racial wealth gap?
Well, I think there's a few things we have to look at. When you see somebody like Harvard with a $40 billion endowment, you see places like Yale that has a $30 billion endowment, and Princeton with $27 billion, but yet tuition is rising every year. That model is broken. They have fixed costs in the facilities. They have fixed costs in their faculty. Those are their major costs. There's no reason for this continued increase in the price of tuition. I think that's one side of it. I think the other piece is I've looked at states like Indiana. They have a great program, and actually 16 other states have this program. It's a 21st Century Scholars Program, which says if you're low or moderate income, we will pay for your in-state tuition. I mean, so if you go to a state school, you have no tuition. Now, you still have to figure out the room and board. That might be $8,000 or $10,000 a year, but we'll take care of the tuition part. So we've got to look at creative programs. There's so much intelligence in all of our communities that income shouldn't be the barrier. And candidly, what we're seeing now is a 50-50 rule. 50% of high school seniors are saying, I don't want to go to college. I don't think the return on investment is worth it for me. And they're choosing to go to great jobs. And that's why we started a program here that focuses on, if you want to transition to a job that pays $50,000 to $100,000 a year, we can put you through a 6-month program and help you get there.